All right, guys, we're going to be talking today about the importance of having fast hands in the golf swing. It's going to be particularly good for you golfers that are a little bit older, aging athletes who are, in my opinion, underserved, certainly on YouTube. When it comes to golf coaching, it's all about using the body, of course. The arms, the hands play very little role other than they should be extremely passive. I guess my question to you, if you're 50, 60, 70, 80, I've got some 90-year-olds I work with too. How's that working for you? I think they're your most wonderful asset. I think you should use them. I think in golf, it starts with the hand-eye. We don't call it body-eye coordination. We call it hand-eye coordination. It would be the same in pretty much every other sport. Can we measure how energy is being transferred? Absolutely. We have amazing technology that will do that. The problem is, I think a lot of this stuff's being lost in translation. So sit tight, guys. This one's all about the hands. It's going to be a good one. All right, so let's talk about these pesky hands in the golf swing and how they may help you. You got to understand something. The way you grip the golf club has an influence on what the club face is doing. There you go. It starts there with your hands, okay? If the hands weren't that important, your grip really wouldn't matter a whole heck of a lot in the first place. So clearly, your hands matter. The way you grip a golf club allows you to articulate the golf club with your wrists, okay? We can get some leverage in our golf swing. We can start to hit the ball a lot further. We can start to create more speed. If I take it back here with no hinge, for example, it's going to be much more difficult to create speed compared with that, right? You can see here I use my hands in my backswing to leverage the club and hinge it to create an angle here, and then I can get rid of that angle. And when I get rid of that angle, I'm going to create some energy with my hands again. Now, does that mean, this is the billion-dollar question, right? Does that mean my body is not playing a role? Absolutely, the body plays a role. It's a transport mechanism. Your arms are attached to your body. However, this is where I push back. In the golf swing, it's not the body that moves the arms. That's like telling a kicker in the NFL or a soccer player. I can't believe I just said soccer player. For those in the UK, my fullest apologies. I've been here for a long time. But that's asking like a kicker, right, to move his leg with his body. Can you imagine a kicker coming in and kicking something by moving his body? All right? I'm not going to move my arms with my body. All right? It's my arms that move my arms. My arms have to swing. That's what creates the snap. That's what creates the energy. All right, that's why Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Sam Snead, it goes on and on. The greatest golfers of all time have said their biggest asset were their hands. All right, so if I stand here in front of you like this, I point the club at you and I go back. All right, you can see here as I make my turn, I pivot my body, okay? So I'm going to pivot. I'm going to go around the corner, and you can see I'm not dragging it. I'm going to rotate the golf club. I'm going to go ahead and use my hands, all right? I'm going to go around the corner here, and as I start my downswing, swinging up here like a baseball swing, if I fire my body, can you see the challenge I might have, all right? It's quite possible my body's going to meet its destination too early, and my arms, hands, and club are going to meet the destination too late. Now, that's about 80-85% of you. And with the driver, gosh, we may be up in the 90s. All right, you got a wedge in your hands, a lot easier to sequence your arm swing. Driver, whew, much, much harder. So can we all agree here that, yes, the body is involved in getting this club back to the ball? This is not the answer. All right, that's not what I'm teaching, not even close. However, it's the neurological intent that is fascinating to me. That's something we can't really measure as of yet. What's the intention when you're standing on the tee here with water right, wind off the left, and you're getting to the top of the backswing and thinking that you've got to fire your body to square your club face, and then of course, where's the darn golf ball go pretty much every time? You got it straight in the water. So what we need to understand here is The squaring mechanism is not the body. That's not what squares the club face, okay? It's the wrists and arms that square the club face, the forearms, as a matter of fact. As we come into the golf ball here, you're going to see as I come into impact, I am unwinding my body, no question about it. I'm just not thinking about it. I'm not thinking about unwinding my body any more than I'd be thinking about using my body if I was chopping down a tree. I hear that analogy all the time. I'm not thinking about using my body if I'm hitting a cross-court forehand, and I'm certainly not thinking about my body, all right, if I'm kicking a ball or I'm throwing a ball. However, my body will move very naturally, dynamically, and it will respond without any question. If I do something here, the body is going to move, no question about it, okay? I cannot tell you how many amazing comments I've had from people that are like, Andrew, you've awakened my entire golf game. You know, for 10 years I stopped using my wrists and arms, and it's just completely changed my game. That is incredibly meaningful, all right? I filled my golf scores in just 2.5 weeks. I've got 4 spots left. March, April, May, and June, my golf scores, and I've got like 4 spots left in June. Links in the description if you want to come and see me in June. I am absolutely humbled that so many of you would take that, first of all, that investment to work with me. I really appreciate it. And the fact that you trust me to help you with your golf games, because I think the light bulb is starting to go off, and I'm hearing a lot of players and coaches talking about this. It's starting to come around a little bit, I think. The madness is starting to dissipate just a little bit. Talking about how important it is to have faster hands, in particular in the transition. When I swing a golf club, that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm literally swinging a golf club. I'm allowing my arms to drop as my body is turning, but I'm not forcing my body back to the golf ball. I'm not going to spin my body to create speed in my golf swing, all right? So the arms have to drop. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's have a little look at that one. Path 3-9, right? My path is great right now, okay? Sometimes easy to get a little too close with the upper body, which pushes your path a little too far right. Just be careful, for those of you that try dropping your right foot back, that you don't get your shoulders too closed. But let's get some energy into the grip as we change direction. We're going to close the gap we created at the top. All right, we hinge the wrist, we fold the lower arm, we elevate the upper arm. We're going to close this gap, guys, okay? See the gap between my upper arm and my rib cage? We've got to allow that club to work down a lot faster. Try and keep your upper body back as long as you can. And then from there, very simply, right, allow your arms to pull you around the corner. Of course, your body's going to be leading the way. Your body's going to be leading the way, okay? Don't feel like your body is dragging your arms to the point of collision. That is a feeling you need to get rid of. That was striped. Can't hit it better than that. That was right out of the screws. There we go. Super happy with that. There we go. So path is under, club face is slightly over. That's a draw release pattern, a push draw release pattern, okay? That's a tough shot for most of you to hit because of the very things I just discussed. There's no way for most of you your club is catching up to your body. I really believe that your body's out in front of your arms, and then of course you're going to be releasing early with all good intention. That intention is leave it here, don't use your hands, use your body. When you don't use your hands and as you change direction, you will release early. All right, you keep your back to the target, use your hands, look at where my hands are. All right, I'm not spinning my body back to the golf ball here. I'm not trying to get open. I'm not trying to drive the shaft forward. I'm not doing any of those things. That stuff is happening because I'm transitioning better. I'm delivering the club better. If I deliver the club better, all right, into this position, I will be in a better position at impact. It's not a position at all. It's a net result of how the golf club is being delivered. So if we deliver the club a little better in this fashion right here, keeping the back to the target, when we pivot, guess what? Look at my arms. Look how they're dropping. As soon as I turn my body, look at my lead arm. How much further forward is my lead arm? So down is forward. Now we spin. Look at my arms. Where are my arms? All right, your hands are still way up. Okay, where are my arms? They're pointing way behind me. My arms were left at the start line. Now look at the next frame. How many of you are in this position? Lead arm and shaft on the same plane, a foot to 2 feet behind the golf ball. And how long have you been working on trying to hold that angle? We don't hold angles. We don't hold angles. This is the problem. The more you try and hold an angle, the more you're going to release that angle early. The whole point here is you're loading a leverage system. We've got to unload it. All right? We load, we unload. All right, get into the top and trying to spin your way back to the golf ball. In particular, my goodness, you know, you guys that are a little bit older, this is just, I mean, I'm teaching people all the time, and I stand there and I work on some little simple drills just to get their wrists and arms moving freely in their golf swing, just like this, little hitchhiker drill. Maybe turn a couple clubs upside down for the first time in their life, doing some things like this that they've never ever done before. See how the grip's changing direction here? All right, and they just swing back and through, just like this. All right, and then we do maybe a couple steps to get the body engaged. And all of a sudden, golfers are starting to use this tool the correct way. And it's incredibly impactful. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear from you. I know you've struggled with this, okay? We've got a lot of people that have got back pain, have got issues with your joints, with all this sort of right side bend and, you know, trying to get into these crazy positions you see with tour players. It's mad, all right? You got to stop. Just stop doing that. There's definitely an easier way. I really appreciate you pressing that subscribe button. The support has been absolutely amazing for my channel. I am here to help you increase your enjoyment of the game. Nothing more, nothing less. That is it for me. I just want you to have more fun out on the golf course. We'll talk to you later, guys. Take care.